Good morning, patrons and students of the Delaware County District Library. Thank you for logging in or running this recorded overview session of Brainfuse HelpNow service. I'm Jack Rothstein, Director of Library Services for Brainfuse, and today we're going to do an overview of the Brainfuse HelpNow program, which provides access to live tutors for kindergarten up through adult learners. There's an adult learning center, there's a writing lab, there's FAFSA support, there's a host of resources to support students and adult learners throughout the community. We're going to go through the different elements of Help Now today. And first thing I'll show you is how to connect with Help Now. You're looking at the Delaware County District Library homepage, and there are multiple links on the site. One of them here is under Learn. If I click that and scroll down, you'll see here Brainfuse Help Now. And to the left of it, you can also connect directly with the Adult Learning Center. When I use this resource, I will go to a page that prompts me to put in my library card number and my PIN. So I do need to have a Delaware County District Library card. And with that, I can authenticate and will come to the Brainfuse Help Now homepage. First thing to show you, upper right-hand corner, you'll see English, but I can also convert the site to Spanish for those members of the community that may be more comfortable communicating in Spanish. And then I can go to expert help, live tutoring. And I do want to stress that these are live tutors. This is not AI. Brainfuse provides access to over 3,000 tutors through our service across the country. The vast majority of them are teachers. We also have some grad students as well as some retired teachers. Our tutors must have a minimum a 4-year degree, and roughly 79–80% have their master's. And you go through a series of exams to prove that you have the appropriate subject matter expertise, and then you're also an effective communicator using our platform, which is a whiteboard and a chat area. Also, all of our tutors are here in the U.S. They must go through a very thorough security and background check. And once they do so, they're available to provide live tutoring services for members of your community. If I am working on my math homework, I get stuck. As one example, I can go to live tutoring and instantly connect with a live tutor for help. So when I click on live tutoring, first thing to highlight, you'll see if I check that box, I will be routed to a tutor who will communicate with me in Spanish, but assist me in the academic area that I need help with, for those members of the community that is helpful for. For others, you'll see that there's a drop-down grade and subject, 2 drop-down list, and I will select a grade level, and depending upon what grade level I choose will determine what subjects are available. So for younger students, K through 2nd grade, I can choose between math and reading support. As I get older, more subjects are available. So when I'm in the 3rd grade, these subjects are available. And by the time I'm a high school senior, all of these subjects are available. Also, you'll note that I can also get some basic college level support as well as connect with an expert to assist me with FAFSA, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. When I connect with my tutor, we connect in our online classroom, which is a whiteboard and a chat area. So here's an example of a Q&A type session where I'm working on my math homework, I get stuck, so I connect with a math tutor who can assist me. Now, I do like to stress the tutors are not here to do the assignment for the student. They are here to help a student better understand the steps or process for solving for a particular type of problem or the assistance that they need help with. But they are not here to do your homework assignment for you. So my tutor has asked me to put my problem up on the whiteboard, and away we go. So what you're seeing here is not software. This is the back and forth interaction between a student and a live tutor. But at Brainfuse, we also understand that when a student needs help, it's not always about today's homework assignment. Sometimes a student may be struggling with a skill or a concept. Some examples may be a younger student may not always clearly articulate what it is that they need help with. It may not be, I need help finding the least common denominator. It may be, I don't get fractions. Or something like reading comprehension, which can be difficult to address with a blank whiteboard. So in instances like these and others, our tutors also have the ability to load lessons up on the whiteboard to facilitate a session. What this means is a student doesn't need to have a specific question in order to get help. They can connect with the tutor and say, I need help or I don't understand, and the tutor can take it from there. So here I'm going to show an example of what that type of interaction may look like. And so here's another example session, and a younger student logs on and shares with the tutor, I'm not a good reader. And so, as I said a moment ago, something like reading comprehension can be difficult sometimes to address with a blank whiteboard. So in a moment, the tutor here has loaded a lesson, The Wooden Horse, and will work through this lesson with the student to help them practice, improve, become more confident with their reading comprehension skills. Lessons are designed to be age and grade appropriate. Even though students are using computers at younger ages, it doesn't always mean that a second or a fifth grader is a wizard with the keyboard. And so lessons for younger students involve greater use of the mouse. Underline this, circled that, choose between options. Lessons for older students involve greater use of the keyboard as well as the mouse. And the coup de grace with our lessons is they are aligned with Ohio State Board of Education standards. And so the materials that your students access via Brainfuse HelpNow will be aligned with the same standards that the teacher is using to instruct students in the classroom. So those are some examples of working with a Brainfuse tutor. And next up is the Writing Lab. And the Writing Lab comes in two flavors, the ability to connect in real time with a live writing specialist, and most importantly, the ability to upload my paper where within 12 to 24 hours, my paper will be critiqued and sent back with feedback and comments. Also, I want to stress, we're not there to write the paper for the student or to do the homework assignment. We're there to provide tutoring support, but not to do the assignment or to write the paper. Live tutors are available 7 days a week, Sunday through Saturday, from 2 to midnight. The Writing Lab, I can submit a draft of my paper anytime, 24 hours a day, and within 12 to 24 hours, my paper will be critiqued and sent back with feedback and comments. And once my paper is critiqued, I will find it here in my message center. That's my inbox. So there's never, ever emailing between a tutor and a student. All communication takes place within our system. And here's an example of a paper that's been submitted to the Writing Lab. And in this case, the reviewer starts off with, hello, thank you for sharing your work with me. We'll then go into organization, development, formatting and style, and additional feedback or comments within the body of this paper submission. So I think you'll agree, this is a very comprehensive approach. It would be difficult to get into this level of detail in a live session. But there still are time and place when a real-time session can make sense. Some examples of this may be, I have a paper to write, but I'm not sure what I want to write about. So I may want to connect with a live writing specialist to brainstorm themes or ideas for my paper. Maybe I've started working on my outline and I get stuck, so I want instant help with my outline. Maybe I've already submitted my paper once or three times. We don't limit how many times you can send your paper in, but before I turn it into my teacher, I may want to go through and review my paper in a live session. That's a great use for a real-time session. And then, of course, some of you may be working on your paper the night before it's due, and you need to instantly connect with a live writing specialist for assistance at that time. Also, if you do have time to upload your paper, you'll click the Writing Lab button and you'll be able to attach your document from your computer, from CloudPack, which is Brainfuse online storage, or directly from the classroom whiteboard. You can add any comments and then you'll submit your paper. And once again, once your paper is ready, you'll find it in your message center here. So again, there's never emailing between a tutor and a student. All communication takes place within our system. And the Writing Lab is very popular. It can be used anytime you have written or created something that you would like someone else to take a look at. Of course, it can be used for book reports, essays, term papers, research papers. Some other examples may be if you enjoy writing creative stories and you would like someone else to take a look at what you've written. Or maybe you're applying for college and as part of your application, you need to do an essay. Well, before you send in your application and your essay, you may want someone to take a look at the essay that you've created. So the Writing Lab can be used anytime you've written or created something that you would like someone else to take a look at. Next up is SkillSurfer. SkillSurfer is set up for self-learning, self-study. It's a library of practice tests and assessments, worksheets and practice sheets, helpful articles, and in some cases, videos. Here under lower elementary school levels, we provide support for math, reading, science for kindergarten through second grade. For the upper elementary levels, reading, writing, math, science, social studies for grades 3 through 5. At the middle school level, reading, writing, math, science, social studies for grades 6 through 8. At the high school level, reading, writing, math, science, social studies, AP exam prep, and high school equivalency test prep. And these last two sections will pop up in multiple locations on our site. We want to make it as easy for you to find what you need help with as possible. So let's say I'm taking Algebra 1 this year. After class, I come home and go into Brainfuse HelpNow into the SkillSurfer area, and I see the Algebra 1 section. And as I scroll through the page to see what's here, I'll note that at the bottom of the page are some practice tests. And so I can take an Algebra 1 practice test, and upon completion, I instantly get my results. And one of the really neat features is once I get my results, if I choose to, I can connect with a live tutor who can access my test results and then work with me in a targeted fashion based upon what I got right and what I got wrong. So I can create my own custom learning plan. If I took a 10-question quiz and got 7 out of 10 right, if I choose to connect with a tutor, they can see that I missed questions 4, 7, and 9 and can do a deeper dive on the skills that 4, 7, and 9 were testing for. And I'll find the tests that I've taken or queued up and so on here under My Test. Beyond the test prep, you'll see that we have a library of videos here. They have the little triangle or the play button. So if teacher was talking about the square root property in class today, I may come home after school, go into SkillSurfer, and I see this square root property video, and I want to check this out.
Welcome to Brainfuse. The square root property is another method that can be used to solve quadratic equations. This method is generally used on equations that have the form ax squared equals c and ax plus b squared equals c. To solve an equation by using the square root property, we first need to isolate the term with the squared variable.
Now, I'm not going to play the whole video here, but just want you to have a sense of some of the resources that are here that complement the live tutoring. So if I watch this video and it helps me better understand a concept, wonderful. But if I watch the video and I still don't quite understand something, you'll see in the upper right-hand corner here the Get Live Help button. So I can click that and instantly connect with a live tutor who will know I'm coming from the square root property video, and presumably I may have questions or need clarification on the square root property. Beyond the videos, we also have different worksheets or practice sheets and lots of other resources to assist a student for self-study. Beyond the resources for elementary, middle, and high school. And the reason why we have these videos, we provide access to live tutors, we have worksheets, is because we recognize that different people prefer to learn in different ways. The way I'm wired personally, if I get stuck, I'm going straight to a tutor because, hey, I'm stuck, I need help. But you may be more audio or visually inclined. And so you may appreciate having a video that you can watch to help you better understand a concept. Or maybe you like to try to figure things out on your own first. And so you like to use our worksheets to see if you can successfully complete one, to know that you fully grasp a concept. But with all of our approaches, I can ultimately connect with a live tutor for additional help, clarification, or guidance. Also, if I'm not sure what type of help I'm looking for with these different sections, I can do a keyword search here at the top that will quickly pull up if I'm looking for a trig lesson or sixth grade social studies history lesson and so on. Beyond the elementary, middle, and high school resources, we have some basic college level support, college entrance test prep. So here I can prepare for the PSAT, the SAT, the ACT, AP test prep once again, or one of these other exams that may be an important next step in my academic pathway, even including nursing entrance exams and so on. ABSFAB support for any members of the community considering a military career, computer and technology support for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. Plus, if I'm trying to get a certification in one of these programming languages, and we also know many of you enjoy using Google tools. ELL support, research and presentation skills, adult learner resources, the Parent Corner, designed to assist parents who are looking for ways to better help their children with their studies. There are some short videos here for using different aspects of our service. There are helpful articles, best practices and strategies for homeschooling and remote learning, and information around AI. The Parent Corner translated into Spanish We also have life skills information here around time management, financial literacy, media literacy, creative thinking, practical skills, academic skills for real life, and information around using AI tools ethically and effectively. When teacher makes an assignment, they don't intend for you to use an AI tool to complete the assignment or to write your paper. And so we're here to help guide appropriate use for using AI tools. Send question is typically used during times when live tutors are not available. Again, I mentioned that live tutor access is Sunday through Saturday from 2 p.m. Eastern to midnight. But if you have a question during times when live tutors are not available, you can upload your question. It works just like the writing lab. And within 12 to 24 hours, a response will be crafted that you'll find in your message center. Language Lab, we have live support for those learning or studying the Spanish language. And then under featured service, we are now staffing access to live academic integrity tutors, AI, and these live AI tutors are here to once again guide students on appropriate use of AI as they're crafting a paper, doing research on a paper, working on an assignment, as well as accessible for parents who may have heard and read about AI, may not be using it themselves yet, but know that their children are. And they may appreciate being able to connect with a live AI expert to ask questions or get guidance on AI resources and how to best use them. Here, we can also access live FAFSA support for those seeking financial aid for going to college. And then we also provide, as more of a fun resource, support for those that enjoy playing chess or want to learn the game of chess. And all of these resources are here under featured service. Next up is study. And here we have the LEAP Learning Platform, which is a diagnostic test center. So it is a deeper dive than our other test prep in the SkillSurfer area. Once I complete a LEAP course or assessment, we automatically create a learning plan for you that includes targeted lessons, quizzes, and live online tutoring. And some of the courses that are available include ACT prep, college readiness, ELA support, GED prep, high school level, grade school level, and several different SAT full-length practice tests. Next up is Flashbulb, which is set up for self-study. Flashbulb is a library of electronic flashcards. And flashcards can be a wonderful tool or resource for studying. As an example of what's here, let's go into geography and then US geography and 50 states and capitals. So here you'll see one side has a question, the other side an answer. I got that one right. Oops, I missed that one, and so on. There's also a speak button here that if I put a check mark there, it will enable an audio feature.
Arizona, Phoenix.
Now, the fun part here is once I've selected a card set, I can click on these other buttons below and convert my card set to a game or an activity. So if I click on crossword, it will convert my card set to a crossword puzzle. If I click crossword again, it creates a different crossword puzzle. If I click on unscramble, it creates a scramble game. If I click on bug match, it's a simple video game. I move the smiley face spider around the board using the up and down and left and right arrows on my keyboard. An older student may prefer to convert their card set to a study table, or possibly a matching table. I can even print out a multiple choice quiz, or if I click the print button, I can choose from various print formats if I want to have a hard copy in hand when I study. Now, users can create their own card sets by going to the Create button here at the top and following the step-by-step instructions. eParachute can be helpful for job seekers. It's from the folks behind the Longtime Job Seekers Guide, What Colors Your Parachute, where I will input uh, my strengths, my weaknesses, the things I enjoy doing, my experience, my skills. And by the time I put my input, it will suggest jobs or careers that I may want to pursue. It also is very helpful for incoming or early stage college students, where again, based upon my likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, and experiences, can help me figure out perhaps what I want to major in or major and minor in university. Under Collaborate with Meet and Brainwave, I can organize virtual study sessions. If teacher has assigned a class project, or if there's an upcoming quiz or test, I may want to organize a virtual study group. So under Brainfuse Meeting, can give my meeting a name, type in the email addresses of the friends or classmates who I want to join me. If the test is this Friday, I may want to organize the study session for Thursday night. Oh, how about 8 o'clock? Give it a description, click send. This will email an invite to the friends or classmates who I want to join me. At the appropriate day and time, I'll click that link and we'll come together in our virtual classroom, the whiteboard and chat area, where we can work on the test or prepare for the project or what have you. Brainwave, rather than for group study, it's more set up for self-study or one-to-one study. Let's say I'm in algebra class with one of you. I'm struggling, you're doing well, and I ask you for some help. We may sit down together, and over the course of an hour, you walk me through the steps for solving for a particular type of a problem or equation. Maybe what I need help with involves plotting the slope of 2 points on a graph. Well, what we're really doing here is creating a step-by-step how-to video that I can save and replay whenever I want. And we built in an intelligent recording feature so it only records when there is motion or activity taking place in the whiteboard or chat area. So while I'm talking right now, it's not recording. While I'm drawing on the whiteboard here, it is recording. What this means is, even though our study session may last an hour, when I go to replay my brainwave, it may play back in 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. So it's kind of like editing out the commercials when I record a show. When I'm done, I'll click stop. I can give my brainwave a description, I can email it to others, I can save it, and so on. We also have included CloudPak. CloudPak is online storage. We recognize that not everyone has a home computer or a place to save their work. So you can use these different folders and you can create your own folders by typing a name and clicking add. So this is an example that I've created folders for the classes I'm taking this semester. You may organize your CloudPak rather than by class, by assignments. You may have a subfolder for papers, another one for experiments, and so on. If you want to add something to a folder, you will highlight it, click Add, and here you can give the item a name, a description. You can upload a file. You can add a URL or a link to a helpful website. You can even create a document from scratch. And CloudPak integrates with our mobile app, so you can always access these resources. There's also the Adult Learning Center. Here, an adult learner in the community can prep for high school equivalency tests, the HiSET or GED. They can also take a practice test and connect with live tutors for additional help or clarification. Same for newcomers to the community working towards citizenship. online study materials, access to live tutors, the ability to take practice tests and do follow-up work with live tutors, Microsoft Office help with online resources, and the ability to connect with live tutors for help with Excel, PowerPoint, or Word. Also here are different job posting sites and access to the Resume Writing Lab. So if any of you are looking to create or update or polish your resume, you can get help from our live resume writing experts here in the resume writing section. They're downloadable Word-based templates. You can upload your resume to the Resume Writing Lab, where a resume writing specialist will critique and suggest changes or edits for your resume. Or you can connect in real time with a live resume writing expert for assistance. And over here on the right is more of the academic support for adult learners. Rather than selecting a grade level like a student will, an adult learner will let us choose basic, intermediate, or advanced. If you choose basic or intermediate, you can select from math, reading, or writing support. And if you choose advanced, then you have more subjects to select from. There's access to the writing lab for adult learners. Now, an adult may not have a book report assignment, but again, anytime I've written or created something that I would like someone else to take a look at. Maybe I enjoy writing poetry or creative stories. Maybe I want to add something to my favorite blog that I read, and I want to make an addition to that. Or maybe I'm going to write a letter to the editor of the newspaper, or a letter of praise or complaint to someone that I do business with. Well, before I click send on my email or put a stamp on my envelope, I may want someone to take a look at what I've written or created. There's also a test center for adult learners and the ability to send in questions during times when live tutors are not available. So this is everything that's included with the library's Help Now subscription. I think you'll see that there is a lot here, and we do encourage you to come in, check it out, try it out for yourself. Again, I want to stress the tutors won't do your assignment for you, but they will be there to assist you to help you learn. And that's 7 days a week, 11 hours a day from 2 p.m. to midnight. Thanks, everyone. Or actually 10 hours a day from 2 p.m. to midnight. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.